Oh, hey, have you ever thought about working in an ER? Don't. The things you see, the smells you smell, the people. I have stories about working in an ER that you won't believe. You be like, no way, boy. I'll be like, way, boy. And you know what? If you stay to the end, you right there. Yeah. If you stay to the end, I'll even tell you the worst thing about working in the ER. Yeah, some secrets right here. Secret sauce, secret formula, Krabby Patty. Don't play with me. If you know anything about an emergency room, let alone walk-in emergency room, you know it gets down in them rooms. It gets funky. And I mean funky. I've seen people get hired and then 2 days later freaking leave because they weren't built for it, bro. They was not Ford F-150 tough. But let's take it back now, y'all, to the first day of me working at an ER, because I feel like that day really set the tone for the rest of my experience. To be clear, my position was I'm just a registrar. I'm the first person anyone sees. You have to go through me to actually be able to get care. So the first day, I'm learning the ropes. I'm up front, people are coming in. I'm checking them in. I'm doing my job. And there was this one person. Let's name him Billy Bob Joe. Right? Now, Billy Bob Joe was a regular. All the nurses knew Billy Bob Joe. After some time of me working there, even I knew Billy Bob Joe. Like, we was chopping it up in a psych ward. Billy Bob Joe was cool. Billy Bob Joe was a little crazy. But we love Billy Bob Joe. We listen. We judge a little bit. But we listen. That's what matters. So after I checked him in and I got him settled, he was just lingering around the front desk, he was just talking to my preceptor behind me. He was spitting game, trying to rizz her up, right? And another psych patient came in. Now, Billy Bob Joe was all up in this man's space, bro. He was over there yapping away, spinning his top 10 freaking pickup lines, talking about some, are you Japanese? Cause I'm trying to get all up in your Japanese. He was in his ear though, like he was really close to him for no reason. Like, I don't know why. He could have just taken 2 steps to the left and he would have been all right. Now, I'm sure being in this man's space, like, you're just trying to get help, man. Like, you're just trying to have somebody see you. And this man over here talking about some Japanese all in your freaking ear, over here trying to spit his best game. That joint was straight puns. Leave me alone. I could tell that the psych patient was getting heated. The man gets up and he says something to Billy Bob Joe. And Billy Bob Joe proceeds to get in the man's face. Uh-oh. Now, Billy Bob Joe is a smaller man. He wasn't all that big. Now, this new guy, let's call him Tyrone. If you don't know why I'm calling him Tyrone, it's because he's a big brolic black guy. I don't know what possessed Billy Bob Joe to get in this guy's face, knowing he could get RKO'd in 3.2 seconds. I don't know if he was trying to impress my preceptor behind me. I don't know what he was trying to do. But he was all up in Big Dog's face, and his breath was coming up his nostrils, bro. I know it was, because I could smell it from my seat, man. And of course, Mr. Tyrone, Mr. Big Dog, Mr. freaking Worldwide turned into Saitama, bro. And I mean, this man Tyrone punched the flying scallops off Billy Bob Joe so bad that he immediately got knocked out. And this man fell straight backwards and hit his head on the concrete, bro. And of course, his head cracked. It was bonkers. It was wild. I literally could not believe my eyes. I feel like if I were to go back now and like look at the whole situation from like an out of body experience, this would be my face. This is how I would look. I was bamboozled. My first day and this is what's going on? Are y'all serious? Thought mans was gonna look at me and freaking be like, what are you looking at? And then fly over the counter and just beat the brakes off of me. But did that deter me? Was I not built Ford F-150? Was I not Timothy? Did I quit? Hell nah, bro. Who I look like, bro? What the frick, man? And that was the start of my ER journey. What a beautiful start, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Now, it wasn't every day that people fought or something crazy would happen. A lot of the times, they would just be causing a ruckus because of the wait times. They would have people sitting in the lobby for 5+ hours. And 5 hours was the minimum. A lot of the times they would be waiting a lot longer. So I understand why they would come up to me and then yell at me like I could control them getting back. And like, okay, I get it. But do we have to do this every night? There was once a time when a lady got like so fed up, she started throwing chairs and like smashing podiums. And I was outside on my little like freaking my cart trying to get back in the double doors to safety. But all the nurses are going back too. So you know that one scene in Attack on Titan where the guy's like pushing the freaking like cargo through and everyone's trying to get through? That was literally me, bro. I was trying to like swing my cart around and like get in the freaking get into safety, bro. I don't know why I didn't just leave the car, bro. Even one of the nurses was like, bro, just leave the freaking cart, bro. I was not leaving that, Joe. The more I talk about it, the more I realize there's a lot that goes on in an ER. Like from patients coming in the ambulance butt booty naked to hearing screaming in the halls, and then you go and ask like a nurse and they're just like, yeah, that's Paul. Like Paul does this all the time? To walking in patient's room and just getting hit with a can of bounce that. Every day had its own quirks. Most of the time it's just people being people and you kind of get used to it, almost a bit desensitized to it. Maybe it's cause I was just a registrar, so I never really had anybody's life in my hands. But the one thing I remembered that nobody could get accustomed to, the one thing I remembered that really put a weight on your heart and your soul, that really stuck with you, was when somebody died. And all it takes is one call from the ambulance phone. From CPRs to gunshot wounds to major motor vehicle accidents, whatever came through those ambulance doors, you needed to be on your A game. When they would come in, it felt like a NASCAR pit stop. I needed to get what I needed and get the frick out the nurse's way. If they were able to speak, I would verify their identity. If not, I would use the information given to me to try and search them up. Quick and diligent. The sooner I was done, the sooner that they would be able to help the patient. And most of the time, they were able to provide the proper care. It's those times that they don't that you remember. There were times when a patient's family member would come in looking for them, and you would search on the board and you would see a white box next to their name, meaning they passed. Times where a patient is stable and then everything goes wrong. Times when there's nothing that could be done, even if they tried. You could just feel an atmosphere shift. Times when a nurse would walk out of the trauma room with a certain expression on their face, an expression that told you everything that you needed to know. I don't think I could, let alone any nurse or physician, could get used to that. I don't want to end this video on such a sad note. Yes, the ER is a crazy place, and most of the shows that you might watch about it depict it pretty well. Yes, you can very much so be traumatized if you aren't ready to see the things that an ER offers, if you aren't Ford F-150 built. And yes, there are days that put so much weight on your soul and drags you to a dark place. But there's also days that remind you that you're doing actual good. I remember while I was working at the ER, I was learning Spanish. And let me tell you, my Spanish is poo-poo caca. Mi español is muy mal. Yo no sé nada. Though I knew enough to do my job, but the patients that I spoke to really appreciated me speaking Spanish to them. It would allow them to open their hearts to me, and they would smile and laugh because most of the times I was saying words wrong and it made no sense. They were able to kind of find some comfort in the fact that there was some random black guy just speaking horrible Spanish to them, as much as they were in pain, as annoyed as they might have been from waiting for so long. Moments when people told me stories and memories of their life. Moments when they cracked jokes despite the situation that they were in. Moments that showed me what it meant to be human, to be able to connect with somebody and share their pain with. And I loved it. From the bonds that I made from my teammates and associates, to the experiences and the interactions I had with patients that taught me patience and how to talk to people and how to console others. I loved every second of it. It truly showed me the bad and the good in people. And I'm very thankful that I was able to work there and build that experience. I would not trade it for anything else. I would not trade it for anything else. Now, would I go back there? Hell nah!